Hello, welcome to the conclusion of our Bible study series on Testimony of Man Born Blind, Module 2, Session 15 of the Living in the Image of God program on the Banking Blessings Ministry. My name is Goodluck Ofebu.
And I am Obi Ofebu. God creates every person to represent Him in interactions with others. To be for others what God would be for them if He lived with us in human form. He provides resources to empower every person to perform the responsibilities. Also, He blesses those that do.
Our program seeks to understand the meaning of living in the image of God, resources that God has provided to guide us, and human responsibilities and benefits of living in the image of God.
Let's dive right in to learn, taste, and share from God's message.
A man born blind received sight through an encounter with Jesus.
His appreciation for receiving sight motivated him to tell his story.
First, he told his neighbors and other relations.
He shared with them a factual account of his healing, but did not yet know Jesus that healed him.
Next, he told his story to the Pharisees several times.
The Pharisees tried to persuade him to change his account, but he insisted on the facts each time he told the story.
Also, he told the story more boldly each time,
and with greater clarity regarding Jesus.
Our discussion of his interactions with the Pharisees is based on John chapter 9, verse 13 through 38.
His neighbors were uneasy with his account of the healing.
They took him to the Pharisees because the Pharisees had the authority to rule on such matters.
The Pharisees were uncomfortable with his story and sought to discredit or change his account.
They challenged his story several times,
but the man insisted on the facts of his story.
Also, he told the story more boldly each time,
and with greater clarity regarding Jesus.
Let us read from John chapter 9.
The Pharisees asked the man how he received sight.
John 9 verse 15. He put mud on my eyes, the man replied, and I washed, and now I see.
The Pharisees wanted to criticize Jesus for working on the Sabbath, but they were divided on this point.
John 9 verse 17. Then they turned again to the blind man. What have you to say about him? It was your eyes he opened.
The man replied, He is a prophet.
The Pharisees queried the man's parents, trying to establish he was indeed not their son.
Fearing entrapment, the parents responded truthfully but carefully.
John 9 verse 20 to 21. We know he is our son, the parents answered, and we know he was born blind, but how he can see now, or who opened his eyes, we don't know. Ask him, he is of age, he will speak for himself.
The Pharisees summoned the man again to try to persuade him to change his account.
First, they tried to convince him that Jesus was a sinner.
But he responded by restating the facts of his healing emphatically.
John 9 verse 25. He replied, Whether he's a sinner or not, I don't know. One thing I do know, I was blind, but now I see.
The Pharisees asked the man again how Jesus opened his eyes.
He responded with obvious indignation, as if to scold the Pharisees for continuing to challenge the truth.
John chapter 9 verse 27, he answered, I have told you already, and you did not listen. Why do you want to hear it again? Do you want to become his disciples too?
The Pharisees were enraged and declared that they were disciples of Moses and did not know Jesus.
John chapter 9 verse 30 to 33. The man answered, "Now that is remarkable. You don't know where he comes from, yet he opened my eyes. We know that God does not listen to sinners. He listens to the godly person who does his will. Nobody has ever heard of opening the eyes of a man born blind. If this man were not from God, he could do nothing."
The Pharisees expelled the man from synagogue.
His story and expulsion spread widely through the community.
Jesus met him sometime after the expulsion.
He explained himself to the man and thus prepared him to go on and tell other people about Jesus.
Let's read from John chapter 9 verses 35 to 38.
John chapter 9 verse 35. Jesus heard that they had thrown him out, and when he found him, he said, "Do you believe in the Son of Man?"
The phrase Jesus had means that accounts of the man's experience spread through the community. The phrase Son of Man means the Son of God that came to the world as the Son of Man. That is the Messiah.
John chapter 9 verse 36. "Who is he, sir?" the man asked. "Tell me so that I may believe in him."
Verse 37. Jesus said, "You have now seen him. In fact, he is the one speaking with you."
John chapter 9:38. Then the man said, "Lord, I believe," and he worshipped him.
The man knows Jesus now and is better prepared to embark on his mission of telling others about him.
What did we learn in this Bible study?
A man born blind received sight from Jesus and was motivated by appreciation to tell his story.
Initially, he knew only the facts of his healing, but did not understand what they meant regarding Jesus.
He understood more as he discussed his experience with others.
In several interactions with the Pharisees, they wanted him to change his account to discredit or deny the healing.
However, he was determined to protect the facts.
He repeated the story more boldly and with greater clarity each time.
The story led him incrementally to discover his mission of helping others understand that Jesus is the Messiah.
Please join us again in our continuing discussion of living in the image of God.
Thank you. God bless you.